everyone, and I think I'm bringing to you guys YouTube's first ever triple feature battle. There are 3 very good battles for you guys. As you can see, this first one was supposed to be a UU battle, straight up UU. But my opponent brings an NU, 4 UUs, and I'm assuming Shaymin's BL or OU. So, yeah. So much for straight up OU. This is one very interesting battle. And his first is Nomezag. I think his new channel is NomezagLP. So, the first song will be, after I drop my mic, 10,000 Fists by Disturbed. So, I go for the Thunder Wave on his Phoenix 2, and he will-o-wisp me. So, it's like, yay, let's just spam status conditions. So, I set up my rocks, and he goes for the agility, and I'm like, okay, you're at -2 still. I still outrun you. You have to get to, like, +2, just 3 agilities. So, I go for the Thunderbolt, and he goes for the Flamethrower, and I'm just like, alright. It does a bunch, and I'm like, good grief. So after the burn, I'm just like, Thunderbolt, and I get Parax. I'm like, woo! And so he switches, and he goes into Claydol, predicting the next Thunderbolt, and I'm just like, let's see here. Switch time! I go out into green, my infamous Leafeon, the second infamous Leafeon. And he sets up the rocks, and I just go for the Swords Dance. And he goes for the Rapid Spin, and I take out like a beast, and I go for the Leaf Blade. Which, one-hit KOs that Claydol. So he goes back, he goes down to Swallow now. I'm like, oh no, because he U-turns. And I take that like a boss, because Leafeons have epic defense. And he goes down to Shaymin, and I go for another Swords Dance. And he switches. He goes back out into Phoenix 2, and I just X-Scissor that thing. And, by the way, if you're trying to think of my item, it's Muscle Band. So he Brave Birds me, and I'm like, shite, because there goes my +4 attack Leafeon. It's like, no! So I go out into Blast It for fodder. So now I go out into Tito, and I get the attack drop from the Intimidate, and he goes down to Blaziken, which I just extreme speed. And I went for the Thunder Fang, which actually did just as much as extreme speed, just about. And he superpowers me, and I'm like, oh, no. And now I notice he's Life Orb, so I go into my pink to gold. And I just call mine there. And that does a lot. I'm like, oh my god, after +1 special defense, he still, like, rapes my pink to gold. So, now Swallow comes out. And just takes my pink to go out with a slot. So I go into my Gold Digger with way over time. That good to me. Whoa, yeah! I like Ray Charles. So I'm like, I pray to God that he'd switch into that Shaymin, and he did. I'm like, yes! What the fuck? Boom! And I'm just like, bye! So I go into my Eye Wall. Oh! And he goes into Swallow. Sorry, guys. I was really excited to get rid of that Shaymin. Because I was like, that's going to spell HE double hockey sticks for my team. So I just go for the Charge Beam. And it doesn't KO. And I'm like, no, but the burn does. I'm like, wootness. So he goes down to Absol, which Swords Dances. And I'm like, Thunder Wave. And, well, I think I go for a Flash Cannon. And I do. So, I think I get the Parax. So it's like, yes, because he would have, like, superpowered. And I think that would have spelled the end of my team. Yeah, because it was my last Pokemon. So I go for another Flash Cannon, and that takes him out. So it's like, wootness. Yeah. So, good game, Nomezag. Guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, check out Nomezag's channel, and the T-Flare League, and peace. So my next battle is a Monotype battle versus Jaketheraichu, and this song is I'm Alive by Disturbed. So obviously, as you can tell, I'm using Psychic, and he's using Poison. Texting. Lovely. So, I leave my Blast, and he leaves with the Yanmega, and I set up my rocks, and he goes for the Bug Buzz, and I'm like, I probably should have Thunder Waved, because it's a speed booster. And it's like, but he screwed up the IVs, so that's why it's slower than mine. So he gets another speed boost, and I go out to Infidel! V2, guys. Choice specs. And he goes for the hidden power. I don't know what. But I go for the air slash, and it takes him down to his sash. I think. No sash. I actually just flat out own him. So he goes down to his Titan, which takes SR damage, and he stone edges me. I'm like, let me live. I'm like, yes, I live. 20 HP. And that takes out his Titan, so I'm like, wootness. So now I go on to my Punisher. And he goes for another stone edge. Sorry about that, guys. It seems Windows Movie Maker just seemed to lag. So I go out into Metagross, take out his Nido King, and he will-o-wisps me after the agility. So it's like, blah. So I go for Meteor Mash, and I get the attack boost, and I'm like, yay. But even after the pain split in that, and I got the attack boost, which still my damage is half because of the burn, I do just about as much as the first time. So he goes for a flamethrower, and I live with 24 HP, but my burn takes me out, so it's like, man, whatever. So I go into my Terra version 2.0, and I go for the Zen Headbutt, and that's like, bye-bye, Weezing. And he goes down to Gengar, and I'm just like, another Zen Headbutt! And that takes out that Gengar. So it's like, what now? So he goes down to Crobat, and I'm like, I hope I live this, because it's probably Choice Banded. And it probably is, because I don't see any life orb. And I go over the Zen Headbutt, and I leave, I'm like, holy shitness! Because it's like, oh my god. So I live with 6 HP, and I have no clue why, but I go for Fire Punch, which doesn't kill him. Comes awfully close. And I die from life orb. Alright guys, here's the final part of the triple feature. It's Relay Battle versus KoiBoi09 of the T-Flare League. And this is one interesting relay battle. Anywho. It's going to be slow and then it's going to speed up all of a sudden. There we go. So he leads with the Scissor and I lead with my Swifty! And that U-turn does like a bunch. And I'm life orbed. So I was going to go for the Waterfall anyways. And if I had predicted with the Ice Punch, it probably would have done a lot more. And I should have Aqua Jet there, just get more damage on him, because he Draco Meteors. You know? But anyways, so go out into Infidel V6. And he switches and goes into Perp, predicting the Thunder Wave, but no, I go for the Attract. And it's like, say what? And I go for the Nasty Plot. But no, he actually sets up his rocks. And I'm like, blah. Because it's like not good if he sets up his rocks. And so I'm basically going to flinch him, actually. I think the second air slash, actually, yeah, it does take him out. So it's like, ha 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 ha. I just owned you. So I actually get the Thunder Wave off on that Latios, taking that Thunderbolt semi-decently. And then he goes into Skarmory, which I missed with the Air Slash, which I was like, it had to miss. So I don't miss this time, but he sets up, he does the Whirlwind, and out comes my Gwyn, which takes the Rocks damage. And I go for the Ice Beam. I should have went for Surf. But now he gets the spikes up. But he would have been a 2-hit KO anyways. So I just go for a Surf now, and I accidentally bumped my DS there. Sorry. So I kick him out. Now he goes down to Gengar, and I'm like, yes, he missed the Focus Blast, because it's like, pow! Right in the kisser. But he actually hits this time. So it's like, pow, right in my kisser. Yeah. Anywho. So now I go into my Annoyance, and he predicts the Dark Pulse. And I didn't get the special attack boost like I wanted to, and that Machamp takes it like a boss. So I switch into my Nightmare, predicting Dynamic Punch, but he actually goes for a Stone Edge, which my Nightmare actually takes it. And will take it semi-decently, even without a crit. So now he's going to finish off my Nightmare with the Machamp, so it's no longer his Nightmare. So I'm just like, blah. So now I go back out into V6, and I'm like, flinch time! And I don't think I don't flinch, but he Stone Edges, and I die. And I'm like, darn. I'm pretty sure without SR damage, I might have been able to live that one. So now I go back out into my Annoyance, and I get the attack boost, and I just go for the Tri-Attack, because that Gengar's gone. So I know I can just spam Tri-Attack, and I get a crit, which wasn't really necessary. So, and now it's Cecil time. And he's just like, Bullet Punch, and I'm like, I'm not going to live. And I'm like, woohoo! Because, you know, I lived. And I get the Burn Hack, so I'm like, And that's why I named this Porygon Z Annoyance. Even with download, I still get plenty of hacks with Tri-Attack. So now I go out into Tyranitar, my custom EV curve set. And he switches back out into Gengar, which was just going to eat the Fire Punch. So it really wasn't gone after all. And so now it goes out into Latios. And I sat there, I was like, can I kill this with a payback? Doing damage calcs. And I can actually. So now it's like Seasonal time, and he's like super powered, and I'm like, no! Yes! I'm not sure if that defense drop helped or not, but good game, Koi, good game, Nomezag, and good game, Jaketheraichu. You guys remember to like, comment, subscribe. I will leave channel links to their YouTube channels in the description. I will leave a link to T-Flow. You guys should go check that out, join there, and actually challenge the league. 10 gyms are open, all the Frontier facilities, I think, and peace.